Alright, it's time to respond to all of your wonderful comments about your most underrated opinion, your unpopular opinion, your controversial opinion from my most recent video, and I'm going to have a look at what you guys have been saying in your comments and I'm going to respond. Right, so let's get straight into the nitty gritty with our comments. See what you guys put. Comment from 1000 Star: Mario Kart Double Dash sucks and Mario Kart Wii is the best Mario Kart. Hey man, massive respect for this kind of comment. Yeah, Mario Kart Double Dash, it's not my most favourite Mario Kart, but at the same time it's not my worst, right? Mario Kart Wii definitely is one of the greatest Mario Karts. In fact, it's probably my favourite Mario Kart as well. So I can actually see why you would say that about Mario Kart Wii. It's an absolutely brilliant game for the Nintendo Wii, with the bikes and the Wii motion controls where you get to do a wheelie and everything, the roster, the weapon system. It was all great, the levels, the music was just fun. And what a time to be alive to play on the Nintendo Wii with the amazing Mario Kart Wii on it, man, with the little steering and everything like that. That was innovative, I love it. But Mario Kart Double Dash, I've not really played on Mario Kart Double Dash all that much. I have played on it, but when it comes to playing all the Mario Kart games that I have actually played on, I would say Double Dash is probably the one I have least experience with. I didn't really grow up with Double Dash like so many others, and I know a lot of other people will probably say, oh, Mario Kart Double Dash is the greatest thing, probably the greatest Mario Kart. Yeah, we're all inclined to our own opinion, this is fine, but massive respect for this one. So I get why you'd say Mario Kart Wii is the better game, and it definitely is one of the best. In fact, it's the greatest. Mario Kart Wii is so great, redefined. But Mario Kart Double Dash, I can't really comment on because of my lack of experience with it. But I have played it. I've made some videos on it back in the day, and I think I need to get those videos up and see. But thank you very much for that first comment, Star. Wow, man, good way to start off the video. Battle Royales are terrible.
Really?
So when it comes to Battle Royales, right, the last Battle Royale game that I played was in fact Splitgate 2. Now, I didn't really think much of it, to be fair with you. I thought it was just another Battle Royale game with the options of playing a few different modes, which was alright. I like the fact that you get to do a few different modes in the game. I'm not going to say it's a boring game, I'm just going to say that it didn't really thrill me. And also the fact, considering that I uninstalled the game that very same day of uninstalling it in the first place to see what it's like. I had more of an enjoyable time playing Apex Legends. I think when it comes to Battle Royale games, I do like Tetris 99, that was pretty awesome Battle Royale game. Of all games have a Battle Royale mode, Tetris though, man, that's awesome. Tetris being shown that much love. Thank you very much to Nintendo for that. So you can do some good stuff for your IPs. Yeah, Apex Legends is probably the biggest Battle Royale game that I've thoroughly enjoyed, a lot more than Fortnite and other Battle Royale games like Warzone on Call of Duty. I played that a few times, I couldn't be bothered playing it anymore. I just stopped playing that one. It doesn't really thrill me as much as it does other gamers and other content creators. But Battle Royale games as a whole, I don't mind them as such. But sometimes it's good to have a little break from them so I can come back to them every now and again. So I still do like Apex Legends, it's one of my favourite Battle Royale games. But when it comes to Battle Royale games as a whole, I'm not too big on them. I mean, I've had my fair time with them. I've had some fun with them. I'm not going to deny that. I've had some fun with some Battle Royale games like Fortnite and Apex Legends and other Battle Royale games like Black Ops 4. I think that had a Battle Royale mode. I know that, what's it called, Battlefield 5 had a Battle Royale mode? Yeah, I don't mind them as such, but at the same time I don't hate them. So I guess it depends on the characters and what you get to do in it. But for me, Apex Legends is definitely one of my most favourite Battle Royale games. So yeah, I do respect the opinion that you don't like Battle Royale modes. You've told me this before in previous streams, and as a matter of fact, N64 controller sucks.
No surprise here.
Do you know, I even made a video on this, on my thoughts in the N64 control pad. After so many years of playing on it, right, I absolutely agree. It does suck. The design is weird. I don't know why they put a D-pad on an N64 controller when you pretty much use a lot of the games on the analog stick. Or the control stick, whatever. Or the joystick. Joystick is funny, that name. But yeah, man, the design of that thing was just unreal, and it really hurts my hands now as an adult. So as a kid, I did really well playing it, but as an adult, nah. N64 controller is badly designed. Virtual Quest and Custom Robo were terrible review in the past and are excellent games. I'm not gonna lie, I have no affiliation with these games. I'm not even sure what they are or what console they came out for, but I'll take your word for it. Jet Set Radio on Xbox port is a terrible port. It's really slow and the audio is messed up. Again, I'm gonna have to take your word for it. I've never played any of the Jet Set Radio games. I don't even know how many there are, but still. Never played them. Street Fighter V was on ESPN for Evo, and people are acting like it never happened. Street Fighter V started the generation for people to look at other options in fighting games. Street Fighter V may be a black sheep to some, but I appreciate it. Well, yeah, if you appreciate Street Fighter V, good on you, man. I remember when I played Street Fighter V for the first time, I don't remember it much, but I remember the characters being all big and muscular than what it was in Street Fighter 4. I've not really played Street Fighter 5 all that much. I think I played it not too long when it was released. Can't even remember how long ago that was now, but when it comes to modern fighting games, I don't really play them all that much. I think the only fighting game which I really played modernly is probably Smash Brothers. Overwatch 2 is better than Overwatch 1, yet it was wrong to delete Overwatch 1 servers. Honestly, once Blizzard shut down the Xbox, or it's not the Xbox, the Overwatch 1 servers, there was no point in me keeping my purchased physical copy of the game anymore because it was just obsolete. I hate when developers do that, man, literally. I agree that Overwatch 2 is better than Overwatch 1. I felt that the changes that they made to Overwatch 2, they could have made in Overwatch 1 anyway, but what do I know? I'm just a gamer. I just play the games and whatnot. I have my opinions and whatnot. Yeah, it's a lot more quicker. I think a lot more things have changed in Overwatch 2, and I actually do prefer the gameplay style of 2 to number 1. And you know, with what they do in Overwatch, it still feels like the same game. It just feels like pretty much of an upgrade, so to speak, rather than an actual sequel. You know, they could have made these changes in the first one. All good though. Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2 is the greatest action RPG of all time. Now, Phantasy Star is pretty much a video game I've been meaning to play for a very long time, but I've just not got around to it. I've never actually played any of the Phantasy Star games, so I'm going to have to just take your word for it, and I'm going to have to one day hopefully get it in my collection and actually play it. Or if it comes out in a digital version, it might be out in digital, I'm not too sure, but hopefully I can just get my hands on it and just enjoy the game. Or games. Plural. A game can be a perfect 10 on release and then be a 5 later on, and that's okay. That is beyond okay. That should be one of the things that people shouldn't be afraid to say in gaming. So let's say, for example, for those of us that grew up in the 90s, right, I'm going to use a video game that many of us knew about or know of or love. Zelda Ocarina of Time, right? Many people say it's one of the greatest things ever, the greatest games of all time. And I agree, it's one of the greatest games of all time. Definitely brilliant for a console that not many people actually liked. So it's okay at one point, and I grew up with this person as myself as well, I loved it so much. It's okay to say that, you know, when you played it, you get all excited, going all these dungeons and playing through the game and whatnot and experiencing the Hyrule and everywhere else. It's okay to say that it's a 10, especially for many years. But you know what's also okay? If you look back on it now, as an adult, with a little bit more of a critical eye or open-mindedness, and it's okay to say that this game isn't as good as I thought it was. It's okay to say that about video games that you love so much upon release, when you played them, regardless of what year you were born in, regardless of when the game was released. Could be the 70s, could be the 80s, could be the 90s, could be the 2000s, mid-2000s, or even the modern day. It's okay for you to say that this game was absolutely fantastic, it was fire, one of the greatest things since sliced bread with a bit of butter on top of it, and then later on you feel like, maybe this game wasn't as good. You know, I still got some cherished memories. I still love my memories playing these games and the feelings I got. Looking back upon it now, it's alright still, but it's just not as great. And that's fine to say. It's okay to change your opinion. You're not a robot, you're a human being. We complain about every Call of Duty or Madden game, but yet we buy them every year. We are the problem. Star, I think you dropped your crown. Here's your crown, man. You dropped it. There you go, king. Exactly. People always complain about the state of Call of Duty. I don't play Madden games, that's not my thing. The last Madden game I actually played was on the N64, and that was diabolical, that game. But people, gamers and people who play games alike, right? Casual gamers or hardcore, pro, whatever you want to be called. But if you're going to keep on complaining about the way Call of Duty is, then why are you continuing to support the company with your money? You, along with the rest of you others, are the problem. As the way the company sees it, if they get their money, they're meeting all these quotas, thumbs up. They're going to keep on creating more stuff like this. You cannot say that Call of Duty isn't a problem right now when you yourself are still supporting it. And for those of you that don't support it, is this the reason why? Do you not play Call of Duty because it's just the same thing all the time? Do you feel like they're not trying hard enough to bring up anything new? But yeah, I agree with you, Star. Yeah, people make these complaints and yet they still purchase the games. It's annoying. You're just going backwards that way, man. Literally. Goodness me, man. Most people are afraid to play the game they grew up on because reality will kick in like interest. And I'm very happy to say that I'm not one of them. Yes, I'm just built different. I still love playing the games I grew up on, and I can still enjoy them now just as the day them when they were released. You know, I've just got a different mindset of how I actually approach video games, as opposed to just viewing them like a toy or viewing them like a product, which they are, but I just have a different approach to when I just play games. I play them because I love them, what they give me and everything, regardless of what year they're in, especially in games I've never played. You know, I can still play games from before my time, and I've shown that when I played on the NES, and games like on the ZX Spectrum, and things like that. It's just mind-blowingly awesome, man. It's still awesome. But yeah, I do often see this kind of opinion where people have actually said they don't want to go back to the games they played growing up because they don't want to tarnish the memories they had of it. And I was thinking, what? Then I'll think about a comment like this that you made, Star, that reality will kick in. Yeah, which is, I can see where you're coming from, because some people just like, you know, compared to today's standards with video games and how games are made now, it's like, ooh, maybe I should leave the memories where they are, memories. Let's not go back to these games and think I'm gonna like come up with some new opinion where I may dislike this game I grew up on. For me, I'm happy I don't have that approach. If I enjoy a game, I enjoy it regardless of the year it's made, whether I grew up with it or not. But some people, yeah, I can see where this will apply to them. Playing video games doesn't have to be your career. It can just be a fun hobby. I agree. In fact, let me just turn on my light here. Alright, cool. Got the light on. It's getting a bit dark now. Yeah, it doesn't have to be your career. As many people have actually, in this day and age now of YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and whatnot, many have actually turned it into their career. I'm happy for those who have actually managed to turn it into a career, which is great, which is pretty much a gamer's dream of to, you know, like earn a living playing video games and whatnot, as long as you bring in a lot of fulfillment, a lot of value to your audience's lives and whatnot, as long as you're enjoying yourself, you know, more power to you. But it doesn't have to, but it's great when people do. I actually do agree though. It doesn't have to be your career. We are all gamers that love different things. Your opinion is your opinion, and my opinion is my opinion. But remember, all of our views is just opinions. At the end of the day, we are all community. Very well said, Star. And I think that some people, or pretty much a lot of people in the gaming community, both online and offline, need to get this jammed into their head a lot more than other people. It needs to stick there as well. Because I'm pretty sure we've all undergone, I've undergone the differing opinions or opposing opinions of people who don't agree necessarily with what I have to say. But here's the thing about me. Just a little insight back to what I'm like. If somebody was to say that my favourite game's absolutely trash, rather than feel like I'm going to dominate that person's opinions or tell them that they're wrong, regardless of how I feel, or make them feel awful simply because I do not agree with them and I start jabbering away at them, I would actually have a conversation into why that person feels that way. I wouldn't tell them this, that and the other factual things about certain games. I'd be like, okay, You don't like this game? Tell me why. What is it about this game you don't like? Did it not do it for you? Do you feel like these games are not really that, this and that? See, I'm not the type of domineering person who's actually going to be like, oh, you're wrong, and let me tell you why, this, that, and the other. I'm not that type of person, that's not my way. I like to have conversations with people who are decent and who are reasonable, right? And who are rational too. A lot of people have heavy disagreements online over a video game. I actually do want to say that it's kind of childish, but at the same time, you're meant to be adults. If you're still young and whatnot, you've got a lot to learn, but even as adults, you've got a lot to learn. But if that's the way you want to come across, that's who you are, and if you want to change yourself, you change yourself, it's up to you. But at the end of the day, I do agree. Your opinion is your opinion, and mine is mine. Alright? And I like to talk to people who are reasonable and alright to get along with. I can say that some of your favourite games I don't like, and some of my favourite games you don't like. But when we meet in the middle and can still have a laugh about it and just agree to disagree in a friendly manner, hey man, those people are top vibes, I tell you. Both thumbs up to people like that. They do exist in the realm, but they just need to calm down, literally, with that kind of vibe that they're given, that certain people can't say certain stuff because that's how passionate they feel. Some people need to get it jammed up there, I tell you. I'm pretty sure we've all dealt with it at some point or another, whether it's been on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, or even offline in our own lives, IRL. But it's always going to be the same thing with certain people. Remember, these people are not your friends unless you've actually made friends with them. They're just other gamers who watch your stuff, you vice versa if you do, and you're just got to face facts. These people, some of them, more than others, just like to always be right. Sometimes that's the reason why some people actually have to filter what they say online, so they don't really get to say how they really feel, because certain people like that exist. There's nothing wrong with opposing opinions, it's just how you go about it. Some people need to calm down, I tell you, man. Hi, I found your channel because I was watching a Tina Von Rotter subscriber special video and she mentioned your old channel. I miss Tina's videos so much. My most unpopular gaming opinion, by most people in 2025, is that games from the 90s were just better than today. I love the, won't say that word, graphics and the bad voice acting. They felt like games and not playable movies like today. New realistic games just bore me as they look too much like real life. I may as well just go outside. Please keep physical media alive, keep it 90s. Say no to the 2000s. Hey, Tina Von Rotter, hey, that takes me back, man, all the way back to the early days of my YouTube. Yes, I know of Tina Von Rotter because I used to speak to her on my Phoenix Gamers Legacy account, man. That's going back in the day, boy. Oh, man, when YouTube was much better. When it was all about fun and stuff like that. Oh man, I tell you. Yeah, Tina Von Rotter, I ain't seen her for years. I ain't seen her videos for ages. That's where I felt like in the community back then. Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch some of her videos so I can catch up with her after all these years. She might not remember me, but hopefully she does, but she probably will. And thank you so much, Gaz Nugget, for your amazing comment, because for many, many years, I've actually felt the same way about games from the 90s. You may have said and say no to the 2000s, but I still love the PS2 era, the 6th generation, and pretty much the games on Nintendo Wii, PS3 and Xbox 360. I like those games as well, but that's probably where my biggest leap in gaming was probably peaked, was probably the PS2 era, but I'd say 90s and pretty much a little bit of the 7th gen was probably where it stopped. Well, it doesn't make sense, but I'd say 90s, yeah, is included in that. But 90s games, yeah, they felt so much like video games. I understand what you're saying, because I've been saying the same for years. That's when video games felt like video games and not like little movies and stuff like that. I understand completely what you're saying. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, right? Because I have enjoyed myself with certain games that have the movie-like experience and stuff like that. I'm a gamer, but You know, I don't mind all that stuff. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's terrible. But I'm saying I completely understand from your point of view, because I myself have felt the same. I've been saying the same for years. Games back in the day felt like true, authentic video games. Now, gaming obviously has undergone a gaming evolution. An evolutionary process throughout its years since 1958, from Tennis for Two all the way up until the PS5 era and whatnot. We've seen games go from like chippy chirpy sort of graphics and blocks and stuff all the way to cinematic movie-like experiences. Now, obviously, we're all different games. We love what appeals to us personally. Personally, for me, I love games from the 2000s backwards, right? So I like games from, let's just say, I really love the games from the 6th gen and going backwards, even to games I've never played before. But the gaming era back then, I've actually played those games and I really do love them and enjoy them. But games from the 90s, because that was my childhood era, I absolutely love those games. I don't love all of them. I do like dislike some, but I guess that comes with the territory of playing good games and bad games. Not every game's going to be a perfect masterpiece, and that's absolutely fine. But trust me when I say this, I understand completely where you're coming from. Brofist, man, Brofist, I'm sorry. That one, yeah, touch me. Trust me, I get it. I'm a 90s baby myself. I really am. Respect to your comment, man. Thank you very much. Not every game needs a remaster.
You're goddamn right.
True. I agree. Not every game needs a remaster. How many games can you think of that have had a remaster that were so unnecessary? Certain games that may have been from the past, yeah, certain ones can have a remaster, especially if there's an audience calling out for it to say, we want this game remastered. There's that thing that I see on either X or Twitter or Facebook sometimes when the admin of that group page asks, if you could see a certain game remastered, what would it be? For me personally, I would love to see Snowboard Kids remastered or a new Snowboard Kids game. Personally, I love Snowboard Kids. I think it's better than one of my unpopular opinions there, and that game is overdue, man. But how many games can you say today got remastered that didn't really need a remaster? You know what I mean? Do you think it's a waste of resources, a waste of time? They could have put all that effort into something else worth more while. But I agree with you, not every game needs a remaster. And we're seeing a lot of remasters. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. Certain games would look great under remaster, which is awesome. But yeah, I just agree with you, man. Not every game needs a remaster. Sega Saturn deserved better. Do you know the Sega Saturn, as awesome as that title sounds for a game console, which it is a console I've been meaning to get ever since I was about 14, 15. That's the very first time when I heard about the Sega Saturn. I've never played one before. I don't think I played on any of the games from the Sega Saturn, but it's a game console which I've looked at throughout the years on like YouTube and things like that, what games they do. I love Sega. I love Sega games. They were in my introduction into video games as a whole. I really am interested and excited to actually get one. You know what I mean? I really look forward to playing it. I just want to see what games they got and to fully get lost in the games that they made. I've never played one, so I can't say this or that, but it's an awesome console name, so I imagine the system should be equally awesome. I hope anyway. But let's have a look. When I get one, I'll let you guys know. A lot of games didn't age well in graphics and morals. Yeah, that's absolutely true. A lot of games didn't age well in graphics, but if many of you gamers out there that are similar or like me in terms of the graphics department, where you don't care if they didn't age well, you can still play the game and still enjoy it. Thumbs up to you guys out there. You do exist. And yeah, awesome of you. You know what I mean? Some of us don't care about how games have aged. Some of us can still say that, yeah, they haven't aged well. At least we can admit it. And they'll be like, who cares? We can still enjoy the game. I love people like that, man. I love them. And not just to ones who are blinded by nostalgia. I'm talking about those who can also, along with nostalgia people, not just nostalgia, but people who can actually look back at these games and say, yeah, games age terrible. Look how badly they look. Look great. Nothing. They couldn't get any more realistic back when it was released. But look at it now, man. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Many games didn't age that well. One game in particular, which I can think of, which I always think of, is this one, 007 GoldenEye. I mean, the character models on that didn't age well, man. Didn't age well at all. But there's other games, I can't think of ones straight off the top of my head. I'd say like Ocarina of Time aged okay. I would say games on the SNES aged really well. I think it's probably partly due to the games that didn't really use the 3D functionality as great as they thought they did. I mean, for their time, it was brilliant. For the time, it was great. You know, the leap from 2D to 3D, excellent. But looking back on some of these games now, man, I tell you, yeah, a lot of them didn't age well at all. But like I said, if you're like me, you can look past that and enjoy the game for what it is, awesome stuff. But it can be said, and it has been said, and it should be said, that some games didn't age well. But I didn't get the second part of your comment. What do you mean by morals? Is that something? I'm not too sure what you mean by morals. Let me know what you mean by morals. 1,000 in the comment section below. I have a couple of unpopular opinions. 1. Resident Evil 4 is the most overrated Resident Evil game. 2. Mortal Kombat Armageddon is the best Mortal Kombat game. Wow, Resident Evil 4, overrated game. I'll tell you this about Resident Evil. I've not played Resident Evil 4. The last games I played on Resident Evil were Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 7. I was so disinterested with 7 I could not be bothered to play it anymore. I just got rid of it the same day I bought it. I couldn't be bothered with it, got bored with it, disinterested, wasted my time. But Mortal Kombat, well, my favourite Mortal Kombat, since we're on the topic of Mortal Kombat, my favourite Mortal Kombat game back in the day is and always has been Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the Nintendo 64. I've not played the PS1 version, I've played the N64 version, and I really had so many my fun days with that game. So fun, trying to do the fatalities and the babalities and stuff like that. It was just fun, man. I've been so disinterested with Mortal Kombat games for a long time. I have played Deception, I think it was on the PS2. I think it was Mortal Kombat Deception on the PS2. I had that one. And I played Mortal Kombat, I can't remember what it was. I think it was on the PS3 and everything. I can't remember these names because I just don't care about them anymore. But yeah, if that's how you feel about Mortal Kombat, I've not played that one that you mentioned. No, I've not played it at all. But yeah, thank you very much for your comment. 007 Everything or Nothing is the best 007 game. Do you know, at this particular moment in time, I would say that 007 Everything or Nothing is my most favourite James Bond game of all time. That game is sheer quality. I still remember the day when I played it on demo for the first time, and it was probably like the first game I ever purchased not too long after the release day. That still remains for me as a top quality thing, man. It was such an amazing, brilliantly constructed James Bond game. I cannot recommend this game enough to all you minions. And it also had a co-op gameplay as well for 2 players. Awesome stuff. So you can play through a section of the game with 2 people. Absolutely outstanding. Love it. All those gadgets on Bond moments. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I agree. It is such a fantastic, brilliant game. It's one of my most favourites as well. The Wii U is an excellent console. Do you know, I've been hearing this for years, this kind of comment, that the Wii U is really underrated, even though it didn't really do well for Nintendo. And I remember looking at the sales figures and stuff, but I've got a Nintendo Wii U, and I've still got to play more games for it. The most recent game I played, which was just a few months back when I plugged it in, was Super Mario Maker. My very first time playing that. Of course, the online servers are shut down and whatnot, but that's fine. I can still play it offline, and I like that. And I look forward to trying out a few more games for Nintendo Wii U. I think the only games I played mostly for Nintendo Wii U, which I own, is Super Smash Brothers, and what was the other one? Mario Kart 8, yeah. But yeah, I've got to try more of the Wii U to see what else I can get out of it. Streets of Rage 3 is better than Streets of Rage 2, though Streets of Rage 2 soundtrack is legendary.
What?
Yes, that is definitely an underrated opinion. That is very unpopular. I've never heard anyone say Streets of Rage 3 is better than Streets of Rage 2. In fact, if anything, I prefer, my favourite one is Streets of Rage 1, the first Streets of Rage. A lot of people treat Streets of Rage 2 like Terminator 2, Judgment Day, as opposed to Terminator 1. But, you know, whatever we all like in the Streets of Rage games, it's great. At least someone actually likes Streets of Rage 3 more than the second one. I've only played Streets of Rage 3 only a little bit. The same with number 2. I've not played it all that much. I played number 1 the most. But wow. Yes, I've never heard that before. I'm going to have to play Streets of Rage 1, 2 and 3 soon. I've still got my little arcade machine over there so I can just plug it in and play some games, man. I look forward to trying Streets of Rage 3 out and everything. But yeah, thank you very much for that opinion. That is really different. YouTube doesn't want passion in videos. They just want Mr. Beast-like video of doing something extreme every time.
You know something? You're right.
Very well said. What can I add to that, man? Honestly. In fact, I'm going to show you a video about what Jacksepticeye said about Mr. Beast and his videos. Because I can totally understand where Jacksepticeye is coming from, and I 100% agree with him. Allow me to show you the video. He said this.
Completely unrelated question. Do you like Mr. Beast? No. Jack. Oh! Do you think Mr. Beast ruined YouTube? Yes. Oh! Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
I love it when Jacksepticeye said that. I absolutely agree. I mean, a lot of things that are being done on YouTube these days now, a lot of entrepreneurs and people who talk about algorithms and all this and that, thumbnails, designs, and yeah, they can offer some good advice, but everyone's using Mr. Beast as an example. I mean, Jacksepticeye said it best.
Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
I don't need to repeat it, but I agree with Jacksepticeye. You know what I mean? And I agree with you, Star. Absolutely. Your opinion hits home, especially with how YouTube is run now these days, of what it rewards as opposed to what it doesn't reward. If you get my drift and whatnot, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having good thumbnails, catchy titles and all that to get the audience in, you know, whatever works, but I'm sick and tired of seeing on YouTube that everyone has to be like Mr. Beast in his videos, regardless of what genre or niche you're doing. Where's all the authenticated factors? Where's all the fun factors? Where's the originalities? Where's all that? I mean, they do exist on YouTube. There's plenty of YouTube channels that are swept under the rug, unfortunately, because they're not like Mr. Beasts. Really does my nut in. Some people actually plow through that and get to where they want to be. Fantastic, that's great to see. But Jacksepticeye said it best, you know what I mean? Became more about views, popularity and stuff than it did about having fun. I love having fun on my videos. I'm working my own way up to the top, you know what I mean? I've got my own goals I want to meet. I don't have to be like Mr. Beast or whatnot, you know what I mean? My passion shines through my videos in a different way. I don't have to do anything extreme and whatnot. I wouldn't say Mr. Beast is even the template of YouTube. No, that goes to other YouTubers who are actually not like Mr. Beast, to be honest. More people will focus on being themselves, being fun. They don't need to have a big massive army of editors and stuff like that around them. And you know what I'm trying to say though. I appreciate what Jacksepticeye said, because I think he said it best.
Do you think Mr. Beast ruined YouTube? Yes. Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
The dude that rapped in Sonic Adventure 2 should have gotten his royalties for making classic Knuckles music that stood the helm of time. Sega owes him money and should have put his name in the credit. Whether you like him or not doesn't matter. He made the music for Sega. Hey man, that's messed up. That is messed up. If you do a song for a company, you deserve to be paid your royalties, man. Sega Saturn and Sega Dreamcast was ahead of its time. I definitely agree about the Sega Dreamcast being ahead of its time. Such an amazing, outstanding, underrated console, man. It definitely did deserve much better than what it got. I've not really played the Sega Saturn, that pretty much has been clear in the video, so I can't really say much about it. But once I do play it, then yeah. Rubber banding in games are dumb, but are needed to keep you sharp in retro games. Yeah, I agree. Even though I understand why rubber banding is there for certain games and whatnot, I guess it does keep that challenge factor up for you, regardless of how annoying it is that the CPU can just catch up just like that. I don't know, it must have been one of those like design things back in the days that we just had to put up with. Video game nostalgia can blind us at times. Yes, it can at times, can't it? We can be blinded by nostalgia because of how we feel when we grow up with these games, right? You know, some of us can be so blinded by nostalgia that we will always rate the games that we grew up with as the greatest things in sliced bread. A lot of us may not change our opinions, even when we look through the lenses at a critical eye or more open-minded eye, as I mentioned before. Or reality, when reality kicks in, sort of thing, right? And sometimes we can just be so blinded to say, no, it's still a great game. In hindsight, is it? But there's nothing wrong with nostalgia, as long as you can admit the fact that games have their flaws. It's flawed in this area, that area. A lot of people are so blinded by nostalgia, the rose-tinted glasses or whatever it's called, that they just won't admit it. Nostalgia can be a trap. For many of us, most definitely. Multiverses had the potential to exceed Smash Bros. Roster, but because of the director, only one person, ruined the game's future, where they had literally had anime characters, Marvel characters, Disney stages, and more planned from the files. I loved playing the game, and it's unfortunate that the one person got greedy and didn't listen to his own team. So sad. I'm just going to be honest, I for one won't miss Multiverses. I won't miss that game whatsoever. But what I will say is that unfortunately when these things do happen in games, yes, it is unfortunate when one person's greed gets the better of the actual game itself, and this is what happens to a game. You know what I mean? When people in suits want to get all the money and stuff like that, this is what gets on my nerves about modern gaming. You know what I mean? All this nonsense when this happens, especially when this happens to games across the board and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, I may not miss Multiverses. I've had quite a few games on it. I've played it. I don't really hold it in high regard. I mean, to me, it's nothing compared to Smash, but yeah, it's unfortunate that the when this happens in gaming. But yeah, okay. And with that, thank you everyone for your amazing, unpopular opinions. There was a lot to get through. Honestly, a lot of you are just absolute gems for willing to partake in this amazing, wonderful video of mine. Well, when I say partake, I mean actually give comments of your unpopular opinion. Like I said, it's a safe space here. Comment whatever you wish regarding your most unpopular opinions about gaming. And there was quite a lot of gems in there to go through, specifically, quite a lot. And yeah, so thank you very much to everyone involved. You've been absolute stars. So I may do another one of these in the future. You know, maybe in about a year or two, maybe 3 years, just to see how things go in the gaming sector up until that point. But for those of you that are watching, thank you very much. If you made it this far in the video, you're absolute diamonds in the rough, diamonds in the clams. Thank you kindly for those of you that made it this far. I greatly appreciate those of you that support my channel. Thank you very much. And if you're new around here, yes, I'm Dr. Virtual. I upload videos that keep the retro gaming alive. All things retro games, retro gaming is my jam. Nostalgia included and classic games included too. If that's your sort of thing, then stick around. Hit that subscribe button and enjoy the wonderful videos that I make and be on this journey together. We're a community here. All gamers are accepted, especially you wonderful retro gamers. So take good care of yourselves, fellow gaming minions. May retro gaming live on, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.